The internet is on fire, and this time it's not because of a fight or a breakup. It's because Chrisean Rock just went live and blew the lid off something so dark, so twisted that even her biggest haters are saying she's telling the truth this time. Moments ago, Chrisean exposed the disturbing secret rules that Natalie Nunn allegedly forces every girl to follow on Baddie radio. Rules that sound less like TV contracts and more like a manual for control, manipulation, and public humiliation, in her own words. Chrisean said, "Y'all don't know what's going on behind those cameras. It's not empowerment. It's punishment." And that one sentence has sent shockwaves across the entertainment industry. Fans are calling it the biggest betrayal in Zeus network history. Former castmates are sliding into DMs saying, "She's not lying." And insiders, people who've worked on the show, are already leaking screenshots, emails, and contracts that supposedly prove Natalie's Baddie code wasn't about keeping order. It was about keeping control. The craziest part? Some of these rules allegedly forbid the girls from speaking out, from wearing certain colors, and even from laughing too loud on set if Natalie's in the room. And what happens if they break those rules? Fines, silence, or worse. Their scenes get cut, their contracts get frozen, and their reputations completely destroyed. But what Chrisean revealed next, the three-strike system Natalie allegedly uses to destroy anyone who outshines her, is something that could tear the entire Baddie radio brand apart. Because tonight, for the first time ever, Chrisean isn't fighting another girl. She's fighting the queen herself, before the live stream that shook the internet. Chrisean Rock and Natalie Nunn had been walking a thin line between mentorship and rivalry for years. Their story goes back long before Baddie Radio even existed, back to when Chrisean was still the wild, magnetic newcomer on Baddie South. At first, Natalie adored her. She called Chrisean ratings gold. She'd tell interviewers that girls' raw energy is what the show needed. She's unpredictable in the best way. What fans didn't see were the private messages, Natalie reminding Chrisean to stay in her lane, warning her not to get to Hollywood, and allegedly threatening to cut her. Scenes when she started trending more than the producer herself. People close to the set said the tension started when Chrisean's fights and emotional moments started pulling millions of views. Every clip with her face became a meme, a gif, a viral moment. Suddenly, the Natalie show was being eclipsed by the Chrisean show. By the time Baddie Radio was announced, Day, supposed spin-off that Natalie pitched as a more elevated female empowerment platform, the cracks between them were already visible. Insiders say Natalie only extended the offer to Chrisean because the network insisted she needed her for ratings behind the scenes. The set was nothing like the glossy clips posted online. Crew members whispered that Natalie ran things like a boot camp. Every cast member had to sign a detailed list of behavioral rules, curfews, mandatory meetings, limits on what they could post online. The rules might have sounded professional, but the way they were enforced was anything but. One production assistant leaked a text that said, "If anyone talks back, shut down their mic." Nat wants total control of the soundboard. It was around this time that Chrisean's attitude started to shift. She stopped showing up to events, skipped production meetings, and began telling fans on live streams that she wasn't feeling the fake energy. At first, nobody took her seriously. She'd always been the unpredictable one. But insiders were noticing something darker. In leaked group chats, Natalie reportedly told other cast members that Chrisean's unpredictability made her a liability. She allegedly instructed the editors to cut her scenes to protect the brand. Leaked email from post-production even included the line, "Trim her confessionals down to less than 10% of total screen time." Then came the moment that changed everything. A confrontation on set that was never meant to be aired. Multiple sources claim Natalie cornered Chrisean in a dressing room after she refused to film a segment she felt was staged. Witnesses say Natalie screamed, "You don't make the rules, here I do." That confrontation didn't make it to air, but parts of the audio leaked weeks later. Fans could hear muffled voices, someone yelling, "Turn the cameras off," and a door slamming. Within hours, Natalie called it fake. But the damage was done. The idea that something sinister was happening behind the scenes started to spread like wildfire. After that, Chrisean quietly disappeared from Baddie radio promos. When the season premiered, her name was barely mentioned, her episodes edited down to background cameos. Rumors circulated that she'd broken her contract, that she'd been unreliable, that she'd walked off set mid-season. But that wasn't the full story. People close to Chrisean say she'd tried for months to keep quiet to avoid another public fight, to focus on her music and her baby. But when the reruns started airing and Natalie went on podcasts, bragging about cleaning house and getting rid of ungrateful talent, something in Chrisean snapped. Her friends told her not to go live. They told her to leave it alone. But she couldn't. On a late-night live stream, Chrisean finally said the words that started this war. "They're not empowering us, they exploiting us." She claimed she'd seen contracts being rewritten mid-season, paychecks being adjusted, and editors being ordered to manufacture fake drama between the women just to make Natalie look like the peacemaker. According to Chrisean, Natalie had turned the show into a circus designed to keep herself at the center. No matter who got hurt in the process, it didn't take long for fans to rally behind her. Twitter lit up with threads comparing her old interviews to recent ones, analyzing her body language, even slowing down clips of her and Natalie together on stage to look for hidden tension. But as the noise grew louder, Natalie stayed silent. She didn't respond, didn't deny, didn't post, until one cryptic story appeared on her page, white text on a black background. "Loyalty has an expiration date. Don't bite the hand that fed you." Fans immediately knew it was about Chrisean, but instead of intimidating her, it poured gasoline on the fire. Within hours, Chrisean responded with her own post. "I ain't biting the hand. I'm exposing the snake." And that's when insiders say Natalie made her biggest mistake, yet she sent a cease and desist letter. The moment the document hit Chrisean's inbox, she screenshotted it and posted it for 2.5 million followers to see. Caption: "You can't silence the truth." That post broke the internet. Every gossip page grabbed it. Every fan account shared it. And every former cast member who'd ever had an issue with Natalie suddenly started speaking up. A domino effect began. Whisper networks turned into DMs. DMs turned into receipts, and receipts turned into a public movement. Hashtags like hashtag BADDIE behind the scenes and hashtag Natalie Exposed dominated the Explore page. Everyone wanted to know the same thing. What exactly was in those twisted rules Natalie made them sign? When Chrisean promised to read them out loud on live, hundreds of thousands of people set reminders. Bloggers called it the most anticipated live stream of the year. And when she finally hit that go live button, the world got its first real glimpse into Natalie's empire and how far she allegedly went to keep her crown. Because what Chrisean was about to read next would confirm the rumors that had haunted the show for years. It wasn't about empowerment. It was about control. The moment Chrisean hit go live, the world stopped scrolling. Notifications lit up like fireworks. Within 60 seconds, her viewer count jumped from 20,000 to over 300,000. I'm climbing fast. Every blog, every gossip page, every fan account tuned in. This wasn't going to be another vague rant. This was the night Chrisean Rock promised to expose Natalie Nunn, and she came ready. She appeared calm at first. Her baby was asleep in the background, and she sat on the floor with her laptop open, flipping through what looked like a thick stack of printed pages. She looked straight into the camera, took a slow breath, and said, "I told y'all, I'm not talking about drama. I'm talking about proof." The comments went wild. "Drop the receipts. Expose her. We ready, sis?" Then Chrisean pulled up a document, the top of it clearly stamped with the Zeus network logo. She tapped the page with her finger and said, "This right here. This is the Baddie Radio Code of Conduct. The rules we had to follow, or else we'd get fined." Y'all ready? The chat exploded. She started reading. Rule 1. Cast members are not permitted to discuss pay, contract details, or production methods in any public forum, including but not limited to social media, podcasts, and interviews. The viewers began spamming emojis. Chrisean smirked and turned the page. Rule 2. Personal appearance must be approved by the executive producer prior to filming. Wardrobe and hair must not overshadow executive talent. She paused, raising an eyebrow. Y'all know who the executive talent is, right? Then came the next line, the one that made her jaw clench. Rule 3. Under no circumstances should cast members engage in conversations that position themselves as leaders, mentors, or representatives of the Baddie franchise without express permission from the executive producer. She leaned closer to the screen. Translation: nobody's allowed to outshine Natalie. Nobody's allowed to act like a boss except her. Nobody's allowed to act like a boss except her. Within minutes, the clip was being ripped and re-uploaded across social media. One fan page captioned it, "Chrisean just exposed the Baddie Bible." Another wrote, "So she really had them under dictatorship contracts?" But the most shocking part hadn't even been revealed yet. Chrisean scrolled down and found a section titled Strike Protocol. Her tone changed. This the part that's the craziest. Listen, if a cast member engages in disruptive behavior that diminishes the authority or public perception of the executive producer, a strike will be issued. 3 strikes result in suspension, non-payment, or removal from future episodes. She slammed the paper down. 3 strikes. Not for fighting, not for being late, for making Natalie look bad. That was it. The moment the live turned from gossip to history. Fans were in shock. Ex-cast members like Rolly and Scotty started commenting with cryptic emojis. Bloggers jumped into the chat trying to get screenshots before she took it down. Then came the first twist, because apparently, Natalie knew this live was coming. Midway through the stream, Chrisean's phone started ringing. She ignored it the first time. But when it rang again and again, she finally turned it around so viewers could see the caller ID. The name said Natalie Nunn. So the entire chat went insane. Answer IT. Oh, she calling now? She's scared. Chrisean laughed bitterly. Now she wanna talk? Nah, I'm live. You had your chance to talk. She declined the call. Seconds later, Natalie posted on her Instagram story a black screen with the caption, "Careful who you bite. The hand feeds, the mouth bleeds." Within moments, that post was screenshotted and blasted across Twitter. Fans interpreted it as a threat. Memes flooded timelines, Chrisean with a halo, Natalie with devil horns, the caption when the boss gets exposed. Meanwhile, Chrisean kept going. She said Natalie's obsession with control went way beyond contracts. She claimed there were unwritten rules, things everyone knew, but no one dared to say out loud, according to her. Natalie had secret instructions for how the cast was supposed to behave in public. For example, at club appearances, the women were allegedly told to stand behind Natalie in group photos and avoid eye contact with promoters, unless she introduced them first. She made it seem like we was her backup dancers, Chrisean said. And if you didn't listen, she'd make sure your scenes got cut. Then she dropped the name of another person, a production assistant named Tia Banks, Chrisean said. Tia had witnessed everything. 10 minutes later, Tia joined the live. She looked nervous but determined. "I worked behind the scenes on season 1, Tia said. Everything Rock's saying. 100% true. The comments lost it. Not the PA confirming it. This is bigger than reality TV, Tia continued, explaining that Natalie would allegedly sit in the editing room and personally approve which girls got screen time. If someone else got too many laughs or too much camera love, Tia said, she'd say, "Tone it down. It's my show." Chrisean nodded like she'd been waiting for this moment. "I told y'all she not a boss, she a bully." And every time somebody called her out, she'd find M, freeze M, or fake a storyline to make M look crazy. That's when things really exploded, because while Chrisean was talking, Someone dropped a message in the comments that sent chills through the entire chat. "Check your DMs, there's more." She paused, looked off camera, then widened her eyes. Oh nah, they really did that. She turned her phone back around, scrolled silently for a few seconds, and then said, "Yo, somebody just sent me screenshots from the group chat with production." She read them aloud. "Natalie, we can't let Rock dominate again. She needs to be humbled. Producer, should we cut her mic next time?" Natalie, yes. Keep her unstable. It keeps the audience hooked. Comments erupted. She said, "Keep her unstable. This is evil." Not them manipulating her mental health for ratings. Before the live ended, Chrisean said she had even more evidence but couldn't post it yet because her lawyers were reviewing everything. "They not just gonna silence me this time," she said. "They used me for views, for chaos, for a storyline. Now I'm using their own words to expose them." She ended the stream by saying, "Y'all stay tuned. This just the beginning." That single sentence flipped the internet upside down. Within hours, every major gossip outlet ran the headline. Chrisean Rock leaks Baddie radio contracts, claims Natalie Nunn controls cast. Like POPPT's fans divided overnight. Some said Chrisean was just angry about losing her spot. Others said she'd finally done what no one else had the courage to do. Stand up to Natalie, but in the middle of the chaos, a new leak surfaced. One that proved the story was even darker than anyone imagined. An anonymous account called @BADDIE Leaks HQ posted a series of screenshots allegedly showing that the three-strike rule wasn't just an internal punishment. It was linked directly to the cast's paychecks. For every strike, producers allegedly deducted $5,000 from the cast members' appearance fee. If the leaks were real, that meant some of the women were walking away from filming with almost nothing while Natalie collected her executive bonuses for managing conflict. Fans started tagging Zeus executives, demanding answers. Lawyers started tweeting about contractual exploitation. And by morning, one headline dominated all social platforms. Baddie radio under investigation. Insiders claim cast was fined for outshining Natalie Nunn. Natalie finally broke her silence with a video of her sitting poolside. "Sipping champagne? Y'all believe anything?" she said, rolling her eyes. "This is what happens when you give clowns a camera." She thought she'd ended the story with that one sentence, but she didn't know the next wave of evidence was already on its way. And it wasn't coming from Chrisean this time, because someone else from inside the Baddie radio production team was about to come forward. Someone with access to audio, real audio of Natalie, saying things she'd sworn she never said. And once that recording hit the internet, there would be no denying it. By dawn, the entertainment industry had turned into a war zone of gossip and panic. #BattleAxe wasn't just an anonymous account anymore. It had become the single most talked about page on social media. The account promised proof that would end the facade, and at exactly 8 a.m. it delivered. A new post appeared with the caption, "For years, they called it a brand. We call it blackmail." Attached was an audio clip, 2 minutes of grainy, muffled sound. But unmistakably, Natalie Nunn's voice. "She's too unpredictable. Make sure her payment holds until she apologizes publicly," Natalie said in the recording. "But the budget already cleared," a man replied. "I don't care. I'm the budget," she snapped. The clip ended with laughter. Fans froze. Then chaos erupted. In less than 5 minutes, the post had 500,000 likes. And the hashtag #IBudget started trending, a sarcastic jab that would haunt Natalie for weeks. People were furious. They started demanding answers, tagging Zeus executives, asking why one woman could allegedly decide whether other cast members got paid. Former Baddie radio contestants began hinting that they too had their checks delayed for attitude reasons. A few even posted screenshots of text messages that said, "Payment held pending executive approval." That phrase, executive approval, became the new smoking gun. Fans connected the dots instantly. So she was literally controlling their money. One tweet read, Another said that's not reality TV, that's corporate abuse. By noon, Natalie's team issued a cold, it's a sentence statement. The leaked audio is manipulated and taken out of context. Ms. Nunn remains committed to female empowerment. But nobody believed it. The damage was done. The damage was done. What made things worse was a second leak, this time a video. It showed Natalie during a production meeting surrounded by staffers. She paced the room wearing a silk robe and holding an iPad, saying, "If they start thinking they're the stars, we lose control. The Baddie brand is me. They're replaceable." That clip destroyed any remaining illusion of sisterhood she'd built. Online. And then the twist came that no one was ready for. At BADDIELEAKSHQ account posted again, this time with screenshots of bank transfers. The images showed payments from a company linked to Baddie Radio being routed through multiple shell accounts, one of which was registered to Natalie's personal LLC. The captions read, "While they fought on camera, she collected their bonuses." In the background, social media was turning into a courtroom. Fans pulled old interviews, timestamps, pay rate leaks, and side-by-side comparisons of who got paid what. TikTokers built whole spreadsheets proving that Natalie allegedly earned 5 times what the entire cast made combined. The fallout spread fast. A well-known entertainment lawyer went live saying, "If those documents are real, it's fraud, plain and simple." That night, Chrisean posted her own reaction video. No yelling this time. No chaos. Just quiet vindication. "I told y'all," she said. "They said I was crazy, ungrateful, problematic. Now you see the truth." She didn't want baddies, she wanted control. Her video racked up 10 million views in 6 hours. Meanwhile, Natalie's allies started jumping ship. A former producer tweeted, "I left because I couldn't do what they asked anymore. Watching them break those girls was too much." Another posted anonymously, "There's more audio. She knows what's coming." By midnight, the Baddie Radio Instagram account quietly deleted every post featuring Natalie. The official Zeus network page disabled comments altogether. Then came the biggest shock yet. TMZ published a story claiming federal investigators had been tipped off about the financial irregularities revealed in the leaks. The headline read, "Zeus facing audit after Baddie Radio payment scandal." Natalie tried to fight back with another statement, calling Chrisean a liar, chasing clout, but her credibility was already in ashes. Within minutes, fans dug up old clips of Natalie bragging about being the boss, editing them together with her infamous line from the leaked video, "I'm the budget." The memes were brutal. The backlash was relentless. And yet, in the middle of all the chaos, another rumor started, spreading a rumor that would twist the story again. According to an insider, Chrisean wasn't the only one who'd kept receipts. Another cast member, someone nobody expected, had been quietly recording her own footage during the production of Baddie Radio. She hadn't posted it yet, but she'd started following the @BADDIELeaksHQ account. Fans began speculating nonstop. Was it Scotty? Rolly? Biggie? Every name trended. Everyone wanted to know who had the next piece of evidence. And then, just as the world thought it couldn't get any crazier, a new clip dropped, but this one didn't come from the leaks page. It came from Zeus itself. Out of nowhere, the network released a short trailer for a new reunion special. The tagline across the screen read, "Every story has 2 sides." The trailer opened with Natalie sitting in a chair, staring directly at the camera. "They want to destroy me," she said, "but I built this from nothing." The video ended with her whispering, "Let's talk about what really happened." The internet lost its mind. Was Zeus defending her? Was this their way of damage control? Or was this the final act of desperation before everything collapsed? Reporters reached out to Chrisean for comment, but she posted a single tweet. "Let her talk. I got the finale." That one tweet sent chills through everyone watching. If there was still more evidence, if she still had one more bomb to drop, what could it possibly be? Rumors exploded that Chrisean was preparing her own documentary on independent expos backed by a major streaming service. Unverified screenshots circulated showing a deal memo with Netflix's logo, but nobody could confirm it. The tension reached its peak when Rolling Loud Weekly reported that the FBI had contacted multiple Zeus staff members for interviews. The outlet quoted an anonymous insider saying they're asking for contracts and payments linked to Natalie's LLC. Fans didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or grab popcorn. This wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore. It was turning into a scandal big enough to make network executives sweat. And yet, somehow, Natalie kept posting. She shared a photo of herself in front of a luxury car with the caption, "Still rich, still booked, still the boss." But in the comments, the top reply read, "Yeah, but for how long?" Because as much as she tried to act unbothered, her empire was starting to crack. Crew members were quitting. Cast members were lawyering up. Sponsors were ghosting calls. And every minute that passed, more people joined the hashtag Justice for Baddies movement. Then, right when everyone thought they'd seen every twist, a brand new leak dropped a 30-second clip that flipped the entire narrative again. It wasn't Natalie this time. It wasn't even Chrisean. It was a Zeus executive talking about protecting the flagship brand. It's the audio. If Natalie goes down, we all go down. Get ahead of it, make her the scapegoat. That line changed everything. For weeks, fans had seen Natalie as the puppet master. But now it looked like she might have been a pawn too allowed. Volatile face used to hide something much bigger. Chrisean reposted the clip with one caption. "Told y'all, it's deeper than her." The tweet hit 1 million likes in an hour. By morning, lawyers, journalists, and former cast members were calling this the beginning of the end for Baddie Radio. But to Chrisean, it was just the start of the war, because the next thing she dropped would not only destroy Natalie's empire, it would expose the network that protected it. And when the world saw what was on that final recording, nobody would ever watch reality TV the same way again. By sunrise, the entertainment world had gone from gossip to full-scale media crisis. Headlines screamed from every outlet. Baddie Radio empire collapsing, insiders turn on Natalie Nunn. Every major blog, YouTube commentary channel, and gossip podcast was dissecting the leaks frame by frame. Reaction compilations filled TikTok, fans filming themselves, gasping, crying, and clutching their phones. The scandal wasn't just trending. It had swallowed the entire celebrity conversation online. Social media meltdown. Twitter was the epicenter. The tag hashtag Justice for Baddies trended worldwide for 3 straight days. Fans posted threads comparing old interviews where, hey, Natalie bragged about being self-made with the leaked audio of her saying, "I'm the budget." One viral tweet read, "She didn't build the brand. She built a pyramid scheme with lip gloss and lighting." Within hours, Chrisean Rock's name was everywhere. Her Instagram following jumped by 2 million overnight. YouTube creators uploaded hour-long analyses titled "The Day Chrisean Rock Took Down an Empire." Even people who had never watched the show were suddenly experts, quoting contract clauses and replaying her live streams like courtroom evidence. Fans were split into camps. Team Chrisean called her a hero, the woman who finally told the truth. Team Natalie accused her of betrayal and biting the hand that fed her. But the sheer scale of support for Chrisean was undeniable. Her DMs, she later revealed, were flooded with messages from other reality TV stars thanking her for saying what everyone was scared to. Celebrity commentary. Then the A-list weighed in. Cardi B tweeted, "Ain't no empowerment in exploitation. Glad somebody said it." Summer Walker posted on her story, "The contracts they make y'all sign are crazy. Respect to Rock for standing up." Even 50 Cent couldn't resist, joking, "Somebody call Zeus, tell M, I got a show called Real Bosses, no contracts needed." The endorsement that truly shifted the tone came from Amber Rose. On Instagram Live, She said, reality TV been running on trauma. They pick loud women, break them down, and call it content. What Chrisean did? That's not drama, that's revolution. Her words were quoted on CNN Entertainment the next morning. Suddenly, what had begun as messy internet gossip was being discussed as a legitimate labor rights issue. Industry panic inside Zeus headquarters. The atmosphere reportedly turned chaotic. Anonymous employees leaked emails showing executives debating whether to suspend Baddie Radio or rebrand it entirely. One message read, "We can't keep selling empowerment if the empowerment is suing us." Networks that once partnered with Zeus started distancing themselves. Streaming services quietly removed the show from their recommendation pages. Brands pulled sponsorships, citing concerns over workplace ethics. Oh, Trade Insider told Variety. This is the first time a reality TV star has turned the whole genre on trial. Even rival networks saw opportunity. VH1 producers began hinting about a new ethical reality format. Netflix reportedly contacted Chrisean's management about developing a docuseries focused on truth and redemption. The woman once labeled uncontrollable was suddenly being hailed as a potential executive. Producer.fans go detective mode. Meanwhile, social media users became investigators. Reddit threads broke down every frame of Natalie's leaked footage, zooming in on production notes taped to walls. One screenshot showed the words, "conflict equals engagement" scribbled in marker. It became the meme of the week. TikTokers created dramatic reenactments of Chrisean reading the rules, setting them to ominous background music. A fan-made compilation titled "The Puppet Master of Baddie Radio" reached 10 million views in 2 days. Petitions popped up on change.org, demanding fair pay for reality casts. Within 48 hours, one petition had over 500,000 signatures. Another called for Zeus Network CEO to publicly apologize to every woman who'd been fined or edited for ratings. The turning point then came the exclusive that pushed the story into mainstream news. Entertainment Tonight aired a segment featuring 3 anonymous former staffers whose voices were distorted for protection. One of them said, "We were told to keep the girls hungry literally. Limited catering, limited rest, constant filming." They said exhaustion made better TV. The footage was horrifying. Fans who had once laughed at chaotic scenes now saw them differently. What used to look like fun drama now looked like manipulation. Talk shows picked it up. Wendy Williams, guest host, did a full 10-minute monologue titled, "When Empowerment Turns Exploitation." The View discussed whether reality TV contracts should require mental health clauses. Natalie tried to push back, doing a tearful Instagram live where she said, "I'm not a villain. I'm a businesswoman. I gave them a platform." But the comments were brutal. "You gave them trauma. A platform built on pain still collapses." Chrisean's new image, while Natalie's empire crumbled. Chrisean's narrative shifted from chaos to courage. She released a song titled "Uncut Reality," a haunting track about control and betrayal. The lyrics, "They filmed my pain and called it fame," went viral on TikTok, with millions using it for boss-up edits. Radio DJs started calling it the anthem of the exposed generation. In interviews, she kept her tone measured, refusing to gloat. "I just want fair treatment," she said on The Breakfast Club. "I want contracts that protect us, not trap us." Her PR team leaned into the message. Suddenly, she wasn't the unpredictable fighter, she was the truth teller. The whistleblower, the woman who'd beaten the system, and the public loved it. Brands that once avoided her now offered deals. Fashion Nova sent a campaign proposal titled "Unapologetically Real." A cosmetics company launched a lip gloss named Receipts. The industry divide inside Hollywood. Producers were terrified. If this scandal could bring down Natalie Nunn, veteran reality star with nearly 2 decades of experience, could happen to anyone. Rumors spread that multiple reality shows quietly rewrote their cast contracts overnight. New clauses promising mental health support and ethical editing began appearing. A leaked memo from one major network read, The Baddie incident proves that talent now controls the narrative. Transparency is the new currency. But not everyone was cheering. Some executives accused Chrisean of destroying an industry that made her famous. One anonymous showrunner told The Hollywood Reporter, "She's opened Pandora's box. If every cast member starts recording meetings, reality TV as we know it is over." To which one fan replied under the article, "Good, let it end. We'll take reality over reality any day." A divided public, despite the overwhelming support, the controversy was far from settled. Natalie still had loyal fans who believed she was being framed by jealousy. They flooded comment sections defending her. Posting old clips of her mentoring young castmates, arguing she was tough but fair. Meanwhile, Chrisean supporters turned into an organized movement. They started fundraising campaigns for ex-baddies who claimed to have been underpaid. Twitter Spaces ran nightly discussions titled "What Really Happens Behind the Cameras?" Each side accused the other of spreading fake receipts. Some fans claimed the leaked documents were doctored. Others insisted they had friends who worked there, who confirmed everything. The debates became emotional, messy, and addictive, exactly the kind of frenzy that keeps a story alive. The countdown to the final blow. Then, out of nowhere, Chrisean tweeted one word: tomorrow. No context, no emojis, just tomorrow. Every blog ran with it. YouTubers posted countdowns titled "What will she drop next?" Speculation ran wild. Another audio leak? The Netflix deal confirmed. A lawsuit. Natalie posted two only minutes later with a cryptic message of her own. "Don't forget who made you famous." The internet smelled blood. 2 women, 1 stage. One last truth bomb waiting to explode. Because if the leaks had already shattered the illusion of empowerment, whatever came next was about to obliterate the myth completely. When the clock struck midnight, the countdown ended. Fans refreshed their screens, heartbeats racing. Then boom, Chrisean dropped a 30-second clip titled "The Real Baddie Tape." At first it was just static. Then Natalie's voice came through, cold and unmistakable. "If they think they can win without me, delete their footage. We'll reshoot with stand-ins. Nobody ever needs to know." The internet stopped breathing. The implication was massive. Scenes that millions had believed were authentic may have been staged or recreated, possibly with fake cast doubles. Within minutes, the hashtag fake BADDIE footage trended globally. Twitter was chaos. Wait, they had stand-ins. This ain't reality TV, it's a scripted nightmare. She deleted their footage. That's fraud. Reporters rushed to confirm the authenticity. Variety quoted an unnamed Zeus editor admitting some scenes were reconstructed. It wasn't supposed to get out. That one line detonated like a bomb dot. Then, right as the story reached a boiling point, Chrisean posted again, this time a long, cryptic message. "You think it ends with her? The footage they hid ain't just baddies fighting. It's what she said about us when the mics were supposed to be off." That was the hint no one expected. There was another recording. Bloggers speculated wildly. Was this the rumored confession tape insiders had whispered about? Did it reveal something criminal or just morally rotten? Rumors swirled that the hidden footage captured Natalie mocking cast members' trauma, joking about fines, even using slurs. No one knew for sure, but Chrisean's timing made it clear she was saving the nuclear option by morning. Zeus Network's headquarters was surrounded by paparazzi. Lawyers refused to comment. A spokesperson released a vague statement promising a thorough internal review. Meanwhile, fans camped online like detectives, analyzing every leaked frame for hidden clues. That afternoon, a leaked email surfaced from Zeus' legal department addressed to staff. Effective immediately. Halt all production on Baddy Radio and suspend social content until further notice. It was official. The show was frozen. Natalie's empires of branding, sponsorships, influencer deals was now hanging by a thread. But Natalie still wouldn't stay silent. She went live again, tears streaming, mascara running, whispering. They editing my voice. They trying to erase everything I built. Half her viewers pitied her. The other half didn't buy a word. The comments were vicious. You edited your cast, now the universe editing you. Girl, the truth don't need filters. Then, as her live ended, a familiar username appeared in the chats at Baddie Files, the same anonymous account that had dropped the first leaks. The comment read, "The next file is already scheduled. 48 hours. Everyone froze. 48 hours until another drop. What could possibly be left? Theories erupted. Unreleased footage, legal contracts, texts from network executives. A few believed it would be something even darker, the hidden confession. Chrisean had teased. Podcasts and YouTube channels streamed non-stop coverage. A lawyer on the Shade Room Live said, if that tape exists, it could destroy every NDA's credibility. This might be the end of Zeus as a network. And then, out of nowhere, something nobody expected happened. Natalie's former assistant, Kayla D, posted a TikTok of herself crying, holding what looked like a small hard drive. The caption, "She told me to erase it. I couldn't." Within minutes, the video was taken down, but fans had already saved it. Every account reposted screenshots of Kayla's tear-streaked face. Some claimed she'd handed the drive over to a third party. Others said she'd gone into hiding. That same night, TMZ confirmed that Chrisean's legal team had received a digital evidence package. From an unnamed source connected to production, the report ended with one line that sent shockwaves across the internet. The files reportedly contain unseen footage from the Baddie radio set. Everyone knew what was coming. This wasn't over. It was only getting started, because now it wasn't just Natalie and Chrisean. It was lawyers, networks, and executives. The so-called Baddie empire wasn't just cracking, it was collapsing. Insiders whispered that at least 2 other Zeus shows were under investigation for similar conduct. And right when everyone thought Chrisean had one, the twist hit. Natalie wasn't backing down quietly. She posted a screenshot of an email labeled "Cease and Desist Notice, Defamation and Cyber Harassment." The recipient, Chrisean, rocked out the caption under it read, "You wanted war. You got it." Within minutes, Chrisean fired back on X, formerly Twitter. "I got lawyers too. Boo. And receipts don't lie." The internet exploded again. Fans began calling it reality court. Memes flooded timelines of courtroom sketches, featuring both women glaring at each other across a judge's bench. Entertainment Tonight ran a headline, "Chrisean versus Natalie, the trial that could end Zeus Network." But behind the memes, the tension was real. Lawyers were now involved. Contracts were under review. Even Netflix released a statement denying involvement in any potential documentary, fueling rumors that the story was too legally dangerous for even major platforms to touch. And yet, through all the chaos, Chrisean posted one final, chilling message: "I ain't even dropped the worst part yet." It's 3 million likes, millions of views, thousands of people counting down the hours. Until whatever came next. The final seconds of her post were edited with eerie silence. Her voice whispering over a black screen. When you film people's pain for profit, the camera eventually turns back on you. The clip ended with 3 words in bold white text: "To be continued." The world knew what that meant. There was more footage, more secrets, more reckoning. And this time, it wasn't just Natalie Nunn's career on the line. It was the entire reality TV machine that made women's pain a business model. No one knew what was going to drop next. But one thing was certain: when the final tape surfaced, nobody would come out clean. So, after everything you've just heard, the leaks, the rules, the betrayals, the lies, the final tape, you have to ask yourself one question: what's real anymore? Did Baddie Radio ever stand for empowerment? Or was it always a carefully staged performance built on manipulation and fear? Because now, the masks are off. Chrisean didn't just expose Natalie, she cracked open an entire industry that's been feeding on chaos for years. The story you just heard isn't the end. It's the beginning of a storm that's still gathering, and you're part of it. So here's what I want you to do right now. Hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and drop your royest thoughts in the comments. Do you believe Chrisean's receipts? Or do you think Natalie's been unfairly painted as the villain? Was she the puppet master? Or just another puppet trapped in a bigger game? And that mysterious final tape, do you think it really exists? Or is it all part of the chaos to keep the spotlight burning? Tell me what side you're on. Team Chrisean, the truth teller, the rebel, the woman who refused to stay silent. Team Natalie, the mogul, the fighter, the woman everyone loves to hate but can never ignore. The war for the truth isn't over. In fact, it's just starting. Because according to insider whispers, another bombshell is already queued for release. And this time, it's not just about Baddie Radio, it's about the entire network. When that drops, we'll be here breaking it down second by second, frame by frame, with every leaked message and every shady email. So don't just watch the drama, be part of the movement that exposes it. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. Because when the next tape drops, you'll want to say, you saw it here first. This isn't reality TV anymore. This is reality exposed. Reality exposed.